Hey guys, today's story is about a DM that joins a really crappy party. Not so long ago, in a game room a website away, I had the misfortune of signing on to DM a feisty group of friends. They were looking for a D&D 5e game with a experienced DM. Given my credentials, I responded to their request and was quickly brought into their Discord. The game would be 5e in a homebrewed setting. I offered a setting choice, and when they read about my long-running setting, they jumped aboard and agreed it seemed fun. While the incidents that transpired could be an entire horror post within its own, I would like to focus on just one specific player. We will call him Chad for reference. Chad read the setting information I provided and immediately sent me messages explaining that his character was a human who was possessed by a demon. He was making him a cleric with the backstory that he was a noble and entered the church to evade the noble duties of his family. He made specific mention that he kept his possession secret from the clergy. Not being one to stifle creativity, I request he explain the details of the demon. What follows made me fall out of my chair laughing. The demon spoke to him and was chaotic evil, so it would temporarily take control and do evil things. But when that happened, he wasn't responsible, so he couldn't be punished by his deity. He said he, the player, decided when and what the demon has him do. In addition, because he is possessed, he is immune to sleep and charm effects. I stepped in pretty quick and advised him, if he wanted bonuses from being possessed, then I, as the DM, will have the DM make suggestions. And when it does, he can carry them out or fight for control. Chad at this point states it's not right for a DM to have that much power over a player's character. I simply remind him that by me making the suggestions, then his reactions are more authentic versus him potentially using the possession as an excuse to commit evil acts without punishment. Chad insists that isn't what this is about, so I compromise offering the bonuses only when under demon control. But if the demon uses him to do vile acts, his god will cut him off from spells until he gets cleansed. He gets upset, stating that I am messing up his character. At this point, I advise him that he is free to find another DM, and he settles down, but overall agrees. The first session, the possession angle is barely brought up, until near the end. Chad had become irritated at a merchant for not giving the group information that they needed. Chad said,
"The demon is angry and takes over, pulling out a dagger, and begins to stab the guy slowly. In a demonic voice I say, 'Tell me your secrets or die painfully.'"
I have him roll, and the NPC gives out the information. The group knowing where they need to go to continue the quest, and ignore the incident and press on. We begin session 2, and the players end up trapped in a spell circle that is surrounding a small farmhouse. Half the party are in the house, but are met with a force field when trying to leave. After some rolling, they realize the force field is demonic in nature. Long story short, a lonely hermit mistakenly summoned a demon and wished he had more visitors. The demon claimed once visitors arrived, they would never leave, sealing the building off. Knowing it's demonic, Chad growled.
"My demon laughs at this pathetic circle and shows me how to break its magic."
I tell him to roll, and he got a high enough result for the details. He knows that if the hermit dies, the circle will fade as the contract is complete. Chad then walked through the door and attempted to cast Guiding Bolt on the hermit. He rolled for his hit and damage, smugly declaring a bolt of radiant energy flies from his hand and strikes the hermit. I stop Chad and say, "You attempt to call upon the divine, but your prayer is not answered." Chad immediately replied with,
"What the heck? Why won't my spell work?"
I explained that upon torturing an innocent merchant for information, your god has decided that you must prove yourself. Your attempt to corrupt his power to strike down the hermit confirms that you have chosen to give in to the demon. At this point, Chad muted himself, and then returned a few minutes later requesting a retcon, stating,
I was just kidding about killing the hermit.
I was messaged by the group leader saying I should just let him retcon it so we can at least finish the session. I agreed and we continued. The group was led to the cellar where the summoning circle was located. A small puzzle requiring them to place stones in a specific order denoted by the ritual. The group was working out the details when Chad declared, since it's a demonic ritual, the demon would know the order. I have him roll, and again he rolls high, and he gives the correct order to the other players, and they summon forth the demon. They fight him, and while it's not easy, they get him low enough for him to surrender. They got him to remove the pact, and one of the players asked how to remove the demon from Chad. The demon gives them a scroll in exchange for sparing him. We end the session with the hermit saved, the magic circle destroyed, and with a party member having an RP hook to help Chad. After the session, my actions as a DM were discussed, and the group blocked me on Discord. One of them, who liked my style, explained that Chad had convinced them I came up with a demonic possession idea and forced it on him only to punish him for using it. This, combined with some random salt from another member, they decided to dump me as a DM. I thanked the player who contacted me and wished him luck, as sometimes we can't pick our friends. As much as Chad was an issue, he was only a third part of the problem. Two of the other players in that group had butted heads with me during character creation and session 1. While it wasn't as bad as Chad, it still should have had me bowing out long before they blocked me. I will eventually get around to sharing a story about each of them individually. But in any case, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have a story that you'd like me to narrate, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.